Hi guys, I'm Ray from Bake with Ray. Welcome to the Ramadan series.
I'll be uploading recipes for Ramadan for the next 30 days, but don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon so you can get a notification for every time that I post a recipe.
Today we're making Gol Gappe or Pani Puri, one of my most favorite things to eat. We start off by making the plum chutney. I've done this before, but I'm sharing the recipe again. Get yourself 100 grams of dried plums, put them in a saucepan, 100 grams of sugar, a teaspoon of red chilli powder, a teaspoon of cumin powder, quarter of a teaspoon of white pepper, quarter of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and half a teaspoon of salt. Finally, add 500 milliliters of cold water. Put it onto a high heat and allow it to come to a boil. Once it's boiling, turn it down to a medium and low heat and then let it boil for about 10 minutes, stirring in between. After 10 minutes, increase heat to a high heat and boil it for a further 5 minutes until it becomes kind of thick. Once it's thick, then remove the plums and then squash them with a fork and return them to the chutney. They should thicken the chutney a little bit more. That's your plum chutney ready. Put it in an airtight container, let it cool and then stick it in the fridge. This will last in the fridge for up to 3 months, so you can pretty much use it on anything. This chutney is pretty much a staple for me in Ramadan. I absolutely have it with everything, so it's nice to have it in the fridge. Now we start with the pani puri filling. You want to put some water in a saucepan to boil. Then you start by peeling your potatoes. I use 2 medium-sized potatoes, but you can use 1 large one. You want to dice it up really finely. They should look something like this. Go ahead and then put your potatoes into a colander so you can give them a nice wash with some cold water to get rid of the excess starch. Once your water is boiling, go ahead and add your diced potatoes into the water and put them on the hob to boil away while you prepare the rest of the filling. So for the rest of the filling, you need a large red onion, again chopped up into really fine pieces. Remember, we're going to use this filling in the pani puri, so they have to be nice and fine. Just like so. I'll pop it into a large mixing bowl. When your potatoes are ready, you should know by just pushing them between your fingers. They should have a little bit of a bite still, because you don't really want them to turn into mashed potato as you use them. I like to rinse them off with some cold water to stop them from cooking and then just leave them to drain. Then you want to drain and wash a tin of chickpeas as well and let all the water come out of that. Once the chickpeas and potatoes have drained, you're ready to put everything together. So add in your potatoes and your chickpeas, and when you season with a couple of tablespoons of chaat masala. I'll put the measurements of everything below in the description box as usual. Give it a good mix and that is your filling ready. Put that to the side. Now I did make my own pani puri shells and they did puff up really beautifully and they looked absolutely amazing, but it just wasn't crispy enough for my liking. So you know me, I don't like to share recipes that are not absolutely perfect. So I'm going to work on this and I'm going to try and get them really crispy. Then I'll share the recipe for these later at some point, hopefully once I get them perfect. But you can just buy ready-made pani puri shells from the shop and they work absolutely fine. So these are my Gol Gappe ready to be filled. Then to prepare the khatta pani or the sour or tangy water for the filling of the pani puri, you want to get some tamarind sauce and some chaat masala. Mix it with a little bit of water first to dissolve everything together. Then go ahead and add some more water. I think I used about 1.5 cups of water in total for the whole thing. Give it a good mix and that is your khatta pani or your tangy water ready to put into your Gol Gappe. The great thing about this recipe is that all the components can be prepared in advance, so you're not slaving over the stove at iftar time. And now we're ready to assemble and eat. So you get your Gol Gappe shell. Oh, look how excited I look. I absolutely love these. So fill it with your filling and then add your plum chutney. Now I like to add plum chutney because it's just the combination of the sweet and the tangy and it's just a burst of flavor in your mouth. So plum chutney on top and then your khatta pani and then put it all in your mouth at one go. Trust me, that's what you need to do and enjoy, guys.